It's the Rockmart Yellow Jackets Coaches Show here on WZOT. Coming to you live from Knuckleheads in downtown Rockmart.
All right, welcome to another edition of the Rockmart High School Coaches Show. Coming to you live from Knuckleheads. I'm Mark Lumpkin along with Jeff Sharp, and we got a guest on with us tonight, the Mouth, Michael Keener. That's what they call him. So thanks, guys, for coming in and helping tonight. And first up tonight, we've got the cheerleading squad, and got Coach Brandy Henderson down here. And Coach, how's things going this year, getting ready for the competitions?
We've had a good summer. We've been working hard all summer, and the girls have did great. They put in some hard work. We're excited. Our first competition is this Saturday, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, going to Pepperell, is
Yes.
that right? And so had middle school volleyball at the high school yesterday, so I got a chance to preview what's going to go on Saturday, as I got a chance to see your routine a couple of times, and while we're waiting on the middle match to get through, and it looked really good. And I know you've got a lot coming back from last year as well.
Say that again.
You have a lot coming back from last year.
Yes, we do. We've got some good talent. The girls have progressed from last year. They've gotten better, and they really worked hard as a team this year. So we expect them to have a really good season.
And then if you'll tell us who you have here with us tonight.
Okay, I have JC Freeman. And one thing about JC, she does cheerleading and band.
Yeah, you can see her all over Facebook this week. As a matter of fact, she was on West Georgia Scholastic Sports as well.
Exactly. So you'll see her not only cheering, but during the halftime show as well. So, and then we have Anna Claire and Gracie.
And then JC's a senior.
Yeah, JC's a senior.
Anna Claire is a junior. You can say it in the mic. Just get up to it.
Get close to the mic.
And then Gracie is a junior. So we got two juniors and a senior. Good. And then how many seniors do you have on your cheerleading squad?
We only have two this year.
So
we have a lot coming back.
JC and Ansley Wynn, if I'm
yes.
right. Okay.
Yep, exactly.
So, lost a couple last year, got two seniors this year, but it got a lot of good young talent that came in this year as well.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of good talent in the middle school, too. The middle school coaches do a great job, and they work hard with them, and they practice harder than we do sometimes, I think. So we got a lot of good talent coming up. They didn't like that, did they?
Yeah, so as some are on the way out, somebody's got to take over your spot. So, and then, give us an idea about how Saturday is going to go. I'm sure a lot of our listeners have never been to a cheerleading competition, and usually you're there early in the morning, but you only have one chance to perform your routine, right?
Yeah, you got 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah, so it's a there's no second chance. You hit it or you don't. So we're actually on the third session tomorrow, so we start a little bit later, 1 o'clock. The doors open. It's at Pepperell High School, so if anybody wants to come out, and it usually goes pretty fast. Y'all know how many teams, girls?
7, 8 including us.
Yeah, so there's 8 teams, so it usually goes pretty fast.
So that's 8 teams in the 1 o'clock wave.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Everyone in our region.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
everyone in our region tomorrow. So we'll get to see.
So you get a good idea of what you're going to be against whenever the region competition comes in. And we know that they're coming off a very successful year last year. I believe you finished 8th overall in the state last year.
Yes.
Yes, you wouldn't think I would remember that, would you, Anna Claire? But when you announce the football, you get all that stuff in front of you. So they finished 8th overall in the state last year, which is a remarkable achievement.
Yep. They got they were 8th place, and they can talk to you more about that.
So,
Anna Claire. No.
Yeah. So.
Tell them what the experience
Yeah,
is
we'll
for
let
state.
Anna Claire, this was, last year, y'all got a chance to go to the state. The year before, I think you just barely missed getting into that final 8 pairing. And then last year you make it in, you make it to 8th place. So tell us a little bit about what goes into preparing for that and then actually making it to the state competition?
It takes a lot of hard work and dedication to put our routine together. So hearing our name called to go to the second day it was great.
And then, JC, leading up to that, we know this is just the first competition of many. So you start tomorrow, and then it leads up to the region meet.
Yes.
And then that is sometime in October.
Yes. You go through competitions throughout this season, and then you go to region. And then if you get first place in region, you automatically move to the second day of state. But if you don't, you have to compete on the first day of state and make it in the top 8 to make it to the second day.
All right. And then Gracie, so another junior here with us. You've been a part of the team for your third year now.
Yes, sir.
All right. And so you've kind of seen all three of you have really seen the ups and downs of the competition time it's just like, athletes, it's just like other sporting events. You're not always going to be on your A game. So when you're not, can you kind of tell when you get there, you go through, you kind of have that practice, whether you're really going to be on or not?
What was the question?
So, all right. So your freshman year, what? All right. Whenever you get to the competition and you're practicing before you actually go on, because you get some practice time, right?
Yeah, they do a warm up.
So can you tell during that warm up if you're really going to have a good routine, or are there things where you're really going to have to concentrate on? Because I know not every day you're on your A game.
Yeah. Well, when we warm up, we usually have a good idea of if we're going to hit that stone or not. And most of the time, or every time before we go out, we always hit the stunt. So we always have that confidence going into the routine on that day that we can hit it and we can do it and perform well.
Is this the group that we see on Friday nights? Is that the same group that's the competition?
Yes.
Sir.
All right. So during the week, you got to prepare for the game. You got to prepare for competition. How do you guys separate that?
We have to find ways to divide our time into painting the run through and taping it up so it's ready. We have a lot of help from our parents because we have sometimes competition is more important. So we have to take more time to prepare for that.
Yeah, we had some parents come out today to help paint the run through for us so we could get ready.
I got a question about that. Who determines what our painting's going to look like? Does y'all do it as a group or does a coach? I want to ask the girls this. Who determines who's going to be on our football players are going to run through that Friday night?
Tori Montgomery and Ansley Deems.
And another thing for our listeners out here, because a lot of people go to the ball game to watch the football game, okay? Don't get me wrong, y'all are as much on a Friday night as a football game as the players are, okay? But sometimes I watch the cheerleaders maybe in between a quarter or something like that, and all of a sudden one on that end will just start cheering and everybody will join in. And then maybe the next year, one in the middle will start cheering. So y'all just randomly, somebody comes up with a cheer in their head and everybody blends in?
Gracie?
Usually
Put you on the spot.
on the sidelines, we always go through everybody and everyone calls a certain cheer that they know. So
Okay, great.
Yeah, and it's usually one that they like. They'll
Yeah.
call the ones they like.
I was going to ask, was it their favorite cheer? Yeah. And this one here, I'm going to tell you, that takes some talent to play in the band, and then you're out there cheering, or you're cheering first, I guess, and then at halftime you get to run off and run out, and you stick out for people on the visitor side, like, look at her. I mean, I know I did the first time. I'm sorry. I didn't mean nothing by it, but I was like, she ain't even in the band yet. Oh, never mind. She's got a cheerleading outfit on. So that takes a lot. That takes a lot. I mean, you ain't got a rest time. You don't get a break. So you're out there for 60, the whole night long, either cheering or playing in the band. So I think that's great. So, but how do you prepare yourself for that?
Well, sometimes it does get very stressful because every day I do have to split my practices and split my time. And it does get really hard. Sometimes I'm not going to lie, but I wouldn't ever give up one. I love them both equally.
You look like you're having a good time doing both. So
I do.
We're going to go to a break right now because the head man down here is telling us break time. So let's pay some bills, and we'll be right back with the cheerleaders.
Welcome to the Mini Morning News Show, where we are so excited about Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis for breakfast that we've minified the news.
In real estate news, tiny homes for those who like everything within arm's reach.
In culinary news, micro food, because, small plates.
In entertainment news, this year it's all about the mini series.
In pop culture news, mini everything.
Because, aw. All right, thanks for listening. Now go put some mini in your morning with the chicken you love for breakfast. Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis until 10:30 a.m.
A-Plus Storage Solutions is your local source for Graceland Portable Buildings. Graceland Portable Buildings can be equipped with a radiant barrier that reflects 97% of the sun's radiant heat. Come by and see us. We also sell R&B metal structures, carports, garages, and much more. We're located at 821 Cartersville Highway in Rockmart.
Our kitchen is where our life happens. It's the heart of our home. It wasn't always perfect, but now it is, thanks to a home equity line of credit from family. I just love my kitchen.
Use the equity in your house to love your home with Family Savings Credit Union. Visit FamilySavingsCU.com. Equal Housing Opportunity member NCUA. NMLS number 800746.
Lewis Motor Company in Rockmart carries a wide variety of quality vehicles with the inventory updated on a regular basis to provide you with the best selection. Let Lewis Motor Company put you in a vehicle with their guaranteed credit approval. Lewis Motor Company, 218 South Piedmont Avenue in Rockmart.
There's home improvement, then there's life improvement. Enjoy family moments with propane gas logs and experience a warm glow with no mess at the push of a button. With propane appliances, you can also enjoy endless hot water with propane water heaters, precision cooking, a hotter, more efficient dryer, and an outdoor living room with fire pits and heaters. Not just home improvement, life improvement. Take comfort in Blossman.
Here's the deal. Free remote control with purchase of gas logs or fireplace from Blossman Gas. See stores for details.
You can't risk being unprotected from unwanted pests. Are you aware that untreated wood is highly susceptible to termite damage? Are you bothered by other pesky insects like bed bugs, ants, roaches, wasps, and hornets? If so, call Harrelson Termite and Pest Control for an inspection. Being the largest pest control company in Polk County, they have the experience to handle your pest control needs. Call today at 770-684-1488 to schedule an appointment.
At Century Bank of Georgia's Rockmart office, you'll find the reassuring blend of responsive, personal service with a wide array of accounts, technologies, loans, and more. And you'll find each delivered by a bank professional whose goal is to exceed your expectations of what a bank can be. We invite you to discover all we are today. Your local choice for community banking. Go Jackets. Century Bank of Georgia, Rockmart. We want to be your bank. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
It's the Rockmart Yellow Jackets Coaches Show here on WZOT. Coming to you live from Knuckleheads in downtown Rockmart.
All right, thanks for tuning in tonight. We're back here coming to you from Knuckleheads and got the cheerleaders on with us right now. And we'll go back to Gracie over here. And she's dying to answer some questions. So he talked about the run-through a minute ago. How long does it take you guys to get that ready?
Usually it takes them like 20 or 30 minutes to draw it, and then most of the time it takes us 30 minutes to paint it if everyone helps, and then like an extra 15 minutes to clean up everything.
Yeah, that's not a shot at anybody. Okay.
And so like for away games, are you doing a different size for away games? I know the ones at the home's a huge sign, so we're doing the same size for away games also?
Yeah, it's usually all the same size.
And you know, we always announce and say on radio what the sign says, so you know, it's always a surprise to us, but I'm sure it'll be pretty good for tomorrow night going against Heard County. And
anybody got a clue? Going to give us a clue maybe what it says about? Just a hint?
No. No hints.
No
Stay
giveaway.
tuned.
No giveaway, so you got to be there.
Hey, these girls have strict instructions not to post pictures or tell what it says.
Y'all will like it though.
Nothing.
Oh, I'm sure we will. All of them been great. Yeah, I'm sure we will like it.
All right.
We have the best ones in the state, I say.
Without
the
a
biggest
doubt.
and the best.
That's no doubt. That's what it's funny how big they are,
Mm-hmm.
and then the players come through it, and they look like midgets as they're coming through it. So they only take out like the bottom 5 feet, and it's like 30 feet high. I don't know. It's huge.
And there's a funny story about that. Jean Marie went to some school, and they had bigger poles than we did. So she got on the phone and made some connections, and she said, nobody's going to have a bigger run through than me.
So now we have bigger poles than anybody else.
Exactly.
All right. So
It takes tall
all right. So talking about going back to the competition part. Okay. So we were talking during the break, just trying to get, because we're 3 guys sitting here. Okay. It's not like we know a whole lot about cheerleading, but we're trying. But there are 4 positions in cheerleading as far as the team goes. All right. So we have a flyer, okay, and that's Gracie. Gracie's a flyer.
Yes.
All right. Then Anna Claire, you're one of the bases. Well, I found out there's 2 bases. All right.
There's a side base and a main base.
Okay. And then JC, you're the back spot,
Yes.
not the back stop, the back spot.
Yes.
Okay. So, all right. It's still. I'm gonna say it's still the same thing. It's kind of like the fence being there. You catching them as they fall back. Okay. So JC, we're gonna start with you.
Okay.
All right. So whenever y'all are doing your stunts, okay, so you're going to have 2 bases, 1 on each side, and then you're the back spot in the middle, and then Gracie's going to be the one flying through the air.
Yes, sir.
And then she's just hoping and praying that you and the 2 bases catch her when she comes down.
Yes.
All right. So tell us a little bit about what your responsibility is as, not necessarily when she's coming down. We kind of understand that you got to catch her. All right. But while she is up there and the bases are holding us up, give us an idea of what you have to do.
We're responsible for getting their ankles and their butt and kind of helping the bases get them up in the air. And while they're up in the air, we're responsible for kind of pulling up some of the weight to make it easier on the bases to keep them up there.
All right. So then Anna Claire, with you are the which base?
Side.
The side base. So we have a side base, and then what's our other base?
Main.
A main base. So we have a main base and a side base. All right. So tell us what the difference in the 2 is.
The really only difference is the grips, the way you hold the foot. My job is to hold the heel and the toe, and the main base's job is to hold the middle of the foot. So as each stunt goes, it's our job to support the majority of the flyer since we're having to balance our feet.
All right. So you've got to support the legs or the foot, and then JC, you got to support the legs.
The ankle and
the ankle and the leg. All right. So then Gracie, you're the one at the top of all this.
Yes, sir.
So you've got to have a lot of confidence in these 3 people on the floor to hold you up.
Oh, yes. I have to. Also, for myself personally, I have to have, trust in every single one of them that they're going to catch me and do their part because I am in the air. And it is kind of scary sometimes, getting chunked in the air, held up in the air, full extended arm.
So you better stay friends with these girls, or they could really mess you up, couldn't they?
Yeah, that's how it goes.
And even though y'all are on a pad, I'm sure if you hurt coming down from 12, 15 feet, or I'm sure whenever you hit coming down 12, 15 feet as you're flying through the air,
yes,
that's still going to hurt.
It normally doesn't happen much. It has happened this season, but most of the time the girls do a good job catching us no matter what.
It's their job to put their bodies under the flyer. If the flyer hits the floor, they're in trouble.
And also, JC forgot to add that she is also the leader of the group, so she makes sure everyone gets to where they're going and tells us and reminds us what we're doing and what counts to pull on and stuff. So,
thank you.
All right. So thank you for the junior calling the senior out. We like that. All right. We're good. So, all right.
But remember, she's got to catch you, so you don't call her out too many more times.
Yeah. Is she on your stunt team?
Yes, sir.
JC is on your stunt team?
Yes, sir.
I hope you do well Saturday. All right. So, Brandy, back to you. The scoring part of a competition.
Mm-hmm.
You got 2.5 minutes to run through your routine.
Right.
Give us an idea of what the judges are looking for in scoring your team.
Well, there's some different things. The level of difficulty. So there's some different, depending on how high they go up in the air, how many hands you have on them, whether you're, at their chest, or if they're fully extended, they have their hands fully extended, so they get more points for that. But one of the main things is just being clean, just making sure that none of the girls fall. You hit all your stunts, you hit all the in the pyramid, nobody falls. And if your level of difficulty is not quite as high as someone else, but you do it clean, you can still win. So it's very important.
Who comes up with a routine?
We go to camp at C4 in Dallas. The owner, Tommy, he does the routine, him and his, what was the, I can't remember the girl's name.
Hannah?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Hannah, she was great. She helped do the routine. And then another company called Cheer Solutions makes our music for us. And so, but we do that in June, and then we have all summer to practice for that.
So do you get to pick out your own music, what songs you want to go to, or?
Well, it's based on an 8 count. In cheerleading, every 8 count is how they make the music. And
so it doesn't matter how smart they are, as long as they can count to 8, we're good.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And so it depends on what part in the routine that, whether they're doing their stunts or they're doing the dance or the cheer. Tommy writes all that down and gives that to the music people, and then they send them out. One thing is sometimes we do have to adjust it because they don't have a visual. They only have it written down on paper. But I mean, most of the time they hit it right on the head. It's real interesting how they can do that without even seeing the routine.
So, and you shared with us that JC has been accepted to Alabama. So
yes,
counting to 8 is a requirement there. So, got her with a mouthful of chicken, so she can't respond. That's okay. All right. So, in your competition, you're looking for it to be run clean. So, and in watching you yesterday, there's not just, you have your pyramids and building that. You also have cheers built into it as well.
Right.
And then you have gymnastic tumbling passes.
Correct.
Also through there. So,
yeah.
So how do you decide, how do you and Jean Marie, I guess, y'all decide who's going to do those tumbling passes?
Well, a lot of it depends on their level of tumbling skill. So the ones that look the best are usually the ones that are closer to the front. And then the ones that can do the most are the ones that are doing those tumbling passes. If they don't have as much skill, they may not be going from corner to corner. So it really just depends on their level of skill. Same thing with the jumps, same thing with, all of it, as far as where we place them in the routine.
All right, so we've been hit with a lot of information here tonight, and so, all right. So, JC, tell us, in your 4 years, you've been a cheerleader all 4 years. Been
Yes,
part
sir.
of the band all 4 years.
Yes, sir.
So done several things. And you said you love both of them equally.
Mhm.
Tell us, what has been, in your 4 years at Rockmart, what has been the high point in your school career?
In cheer or?
In anything. We're just not speaking just cheerleading. Anything in your, since you've been at Rockmart from 9 through the 12th grade now, what has been the best memory that you're going to have of being in high school?
I would probably have to say our football team making it to the Benz, because that was one of the most memorable experiences.
Wait, and you wouldn't get the same question. You're a junior. Okay.
Poor thing.
So, yeah,
Because
being able to be on that sideline inside the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
And I got to cheer, and I also got to march in one of the biggest stadiums ever. It was amazing.
So, without a doubt. All right, so Anna Claire, you were kind of a late bloomer into the cheerleading portion of it, as you played softball coming up. Of course, I know that. You were on my team some, and but you played softball coming up. What kind of, what kind of what kind of turned you to cheerleading?
Well, I have played softball my whole entire life up until my 8th grade year, and I was just burnt out and decided that I wanted to try something new, and I'm pretty athletic, so I went to tumbling and stuff and figured out what I needed to have to try out, and I ended up making the team, and it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Yeah, and so, I mean, you start out at softball, very successful there, part of a state championship team there, GRPA. But so you moved, 8th grade, you just decide, hey, you know what, I'm hanging up the cleats and going for these shoes. And so what kind of transition was it for you to go from a sport that's always outside, always in the heat? I mean, not say you're not going to get hot cheering, but now a little bit more of a technical aspect to cheer than it is softball.
It was a really drastic change, mainly because in cheer, like we've said, you only have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to prove what you can do, while in other sports like softball, you had like recovery time, and you weren't being judged for every little thing. Like if you made a mistake, you had time to recover, or your teammates had time to help you recover to get a win. But for us, it's critical that we do everything we can in the 2 minutes and 30 seconds to make it our best.
All right, so Gracie, you've been cheering your whole life, right?
Basically.
Yeah. So, all right, so you got into it young and you stuck with it all the way to your junior year now. I'm sure you'll be there next year. Tell us about what is one of the hardest things that you have had to try and overcome in your career being a cheerleader. What is something that you've had trouble? All right, I'm gonna put this in. What is something that has happened to you that you have had to overcome?
With cheer, it is a very difficult sport, I would say, and we're always faced with like injuries and stuff. In my 8th grade year, I was tumbling and broke my 2 fingers, but a couple of months later, I was like ready to get back to it. But I sure have, like in my high school season, had a couple injuries. My hamstrings have been injured. Currently, my back's hurting, my ankles are hurting. But, we got to push through it, so I'm okay.
You're not that old. You shouldn't be in that much pain.
Well, it happens, so.
Try being under her.
Oh, that kind of hurt.
Wow. All right. Well, we're going to start wrapping everything up here. Brandy, girls, we want to, wish you well Saturday at your competition. Looking forward to the sign tomorrow night. What it's going to say, I'm sure it's going to have a nice ring to it. And I don't know anything. I'm just throwing something out there, all right? So that's another jab that we're going to be into later. But I'm sure the sign's going to be great. Look forward to seeing you on the sideline. Good luck Saturday at your first competition. Hope you do well. Coach, you want to close us out with anything?
I just want to say thank you. We enjoy being part of the football team, being part of Rockmart community, and y'all come out and see us. We can't wait.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
So thank you, ladies, and we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with Coach Biff Parson, C.J. Culver, and Keelan Pitts talking about tomorrow night's game at Heard County. We'll be right back after this.
Silver Comet Furniture, your one-stop shop for all your furniture and bedding needs. We carry brands such as Ashley, Catnapper, Liberty, and Jameson Mattress Company. That's Silver Comet Furniture, 678-685-4320, 2000 Cedartown Highway in Fish Creek.
Is your thermostat breaking your wallet each month? The reason could be your home is not adequately insulated. Have the experts at TNT Insulation help put money back in your pocket. Call Tim Montgomery today at 770-684-1887 to schedule an inspection. TNT Insulation can handle all your insulation needs, and they specialize in spray foam insulation.
Get your bronze on. Visit Totally Bronze Tanning Salon at 254 West Elm Street in Rockmart to get that beautiful bronze look. Totally Bronze Tanning Salon has a very clean and cool facility with a safe, well-lit parking area. For a quick tan, they have sunless spray tanning. Call them today at 770-684-3003 for an appointment or go by 254 West Elm Street in Rockmart.
Buy Low True Value, 308 Nathan Dean Parkway in Rockmart invites you to come by and watch the inventory grow every day. We're the home of the Garrett Brothers Sawmill. Our family has been processing and selling our country's greatest renewable resources for over 100 years. Like us on Facebook or give us a call at 770-684-5075.
What kind of cake will they serve at your retirement party?
chocolate? Red velvet? Because whether you plan to retire in 15 years or 50, a State Farm agent can help you take charge of your retirement and help make it seem like, well,
a piece of cake.
Sherman Ross State Farm Insurance, here to help and serve you. Call them today at 770-684-3500.
It doesn't matter if you're a weekend warrior or a star under the local lights. Floyd Physical Therapy and Rehab is here to keep you healthy on and off the field. Our licensed and certified therapists and trainers provide quality health care designed to get you back on your feet. Our urgent care offices are conveniently located where you work and play. Floyd Physical Therapy and Rehab offers the experience and technology needed to get you back in the game. Find out more at floyd.org.
A-Plus Storage Solutions is your local source for Graceland Portable Buildings. Graceland Portable Buildings can be equipped with a radiant barrier that reflects 97% of the sun's radiant heat.
Come by and see us. We also sell R&B metal structures, carports, garages, and much more. We're located at 821 Cartersville Highway in Rockmart.
Our kitchen is where our life happens. It's the heart of our home. It wasn't always perfect, but now it is, thanks to a home equity line of credit from family. I just love my kitchen.
Use the equity in your house to love your home with Family Savings Credit Union. Visit FamilySavingsCU.com. Equal Housing Opportunity member NCUA. NMLS number 800746.
Here's a real tweet from a real Chick-fil-A guest. Martell Sincere writes, I'm at Chick-fil-A having dinner, hashtag dinner tonight, hashtag dinner time, hashtag dinner is ready, hashtag chicken, hashtag Chick-fil-A, hashtag food, hashtag foodie Friday, hashtag foodie. Wow, thanks for the love, Mr. Sincere. It's the little things that make dinner special, like hashtags. Speaking of, tweet your stories at Chick-fil-A with hashtag the little things.
It's the Rockmart Yellow Jackets Coaches Show here on WZOT. Coming to you live from Knuckleheads in downtown Rockmart.
All right, we're back here at the Coaches Show, and we got Coach Parson along with Keelan Pitts and C.J. Culver tonight on with us. And Coach, coming off a big win against Central of Carroll 2 weeks ago. So you've had 2 weeks to kind of get everybody healed up and get ready for tomorrow night's game. But going back, kind of looking at that game against Central, kind of started out a little bit slow for the team, I thought. And some of your comments you made at halftime, I thought, you felt like we came out a little bit slow, but we kind of picked up and kicked it into gear in that second quarter and never looked back.
Yeah, we preached to the team that week of you come off a huge emotional win the week before in county rivalry and the way we played in that game and then 3 weeks ahead you can see the rematch, quote unquote rematch of Heard County, and you kind of lose sight of the task at hand, and that was Central Carrollton. And we didn't practice bad that week, but we wasn't engaged as well as we needed to be. And I think that Friday was a telltale sign, and it kind of started at pregame meal and then leading up into the game. And I told them that, my gut feelings are always pretty right, and they don't understand why, but I told them we were going to start off flat. I didn't feel like we had any energy. And, in championship teams, you got to find your identity, and you got to come out and play. And so we're still working progress and still early in the year. But, yeah, I was disappointed kind of how we came out. Now, give credit to Central. They made plays. We had some injuries that game that, we had to play some people. Not an excuse, but we just, they got up on us 6-0 and got the ball right back because we went three and out. And so, you get in that mode of, so for first 2 games, we hadn't scored in the first quarter. And but then you roll off 30 points in the second quarter, and it's 30-14. I didn't like how we finished the half, giving up a touchdown. You make some adjustments at half-times. You get into them a little bit, and next thing you know, it's 51-14, So pleased how we finished. And, a lot of good things that we saw, but there was a lot of bad things that we had to correct as well. And then being off the following week feels like a month that we hadn't played. You know, you have such a high for 2 weeks, and everything's going good, and we get to showcase the scoreboard and all the kinks that we're trying to work out with all that, and you know that's just part of it, and everything will be okay. And because I'm sure Jeff heard it just as much as I did of how bad the sound was and how bad this was and how bad that was, and I just kept saying, but don't it look good? Let's be grateful we got it.
Yeah.
You know, we can figure all that part out. You know, that'll take time, and we'll figure it out. But you know, we're excited to get back on the field, and you know, it's a good challenge ahead of us. We had a good, solid 2 weeks of preparation. We practiced Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of last week, so we gave Monday and Friday off to kind of. We had some bruises and bumps, and you know, CJ didn't play against Central because of an injury at Cedartown, so it probably feels like a whole year for CJ to get back on the field. You know, Keelan got the wind knocked out of him in the second half, and Deacon went down with a knee injury, and you know, but that's the game of football. And they look at me cross-eyed when I say, hey, when your opportunity comes, you got to be prepared because it's going to come. And they'll look at you on a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday when it's 95 degrees and they're ready to go home, and they're like, yeah, whatever, coach, just break it down, let's go home. And then all of a sudden, hey, we're calling your number, and you're getting mad because we're coaching you up because you ain't figured it out. You know, so, but we're excited about this week, and we're excited that we get another chance to get better.
What? And you brought up the heat. The past 2 weeks, it has been very uncharacteristically hot. Every day is in the 90s, and you know you go through and you start getting these warnings from everything of how hot it's going to be. Give us an idea of, and you know, the first 2 games, I thought I didn't really see anybody cramping up, didn't see anybody looking like they're out of breath, and that is a testament to you and your coaching staff of what you have done to hydrate the guys and to have them ready for the heat that they're facing. And, you know, it's going to be a warm one again tomorrow night.
No doubt. And it's, you know, we're going to be on the turf, so it's going to add another 10 to 20 degrees to the lower half. You know, and it's, you know, credit can't be due but to these kids of how hard they worked in the summer. And our leadership of our seniors that had pushed the team. And, you know, that's what we do. And we've done it for 4 years, and we work hard in the summer, and we condition hard, and it's in the heat because it's going to be these first 3 to 5 games, depending on how hot it's going to be. You got to get through it. And I thought we did a good job of keeping our kids fresh for the first 2 games as far as rotation and stuff like that. You know, when you get injuries, for the most part, it's fatigue. You stand around, you get in a pile, and all of a sudden a knee happens or an ankle, or you know, you're not going as hard as you possibly can because you're tired, and somebody else is going harder than you get hurt. And but you know, our coaching staff does a good job of rotating kids and out. I try to be very cognitive of our running backs to get them a breather here and there, because you look at Makai and Keelan and Jai, you know, really Keelan and Jai, they're playing both ways. So I've got to be able to, you know, get them a breather enough to help us on both sides. And so, you know, we do a good job, but it's our kids pushing themselves in the weight room and during conditioning, because it is hot. But, you know, that's one thing we tell them every day. We're not going to let the devil, which is the sun, determine our decision to be good today. And you know, we just got to be mentally tough and get through it. And for the most part now, and then, you know, you ask these kids, they might come out there and we're all human, like, whoo, wow, yeah, it's pretty hot today. But once we get going, you know, it's all of a sudden it's 2 hours in and we're done with it.
Yeah, you got CJ here. So CJ, you didn't get to play against Central, so I know you are chomping at the bit to get back to play. What do you expect that we're going to see out of Heard County tomorrow night?
Well, Heard County's a real good team, and we have a lot of respect for them. They got respect for us, obviously, because we've beat them the past 2 out of 3 times we've played them. But We're excited, and I think we're just ready to put our work in tomorrow. So.
Well, how are you as far as your injury?
I'm feeling good. I've been doing some workouts with the trainer, Sean, up at the high school, and just been working, and I feel a lot better. I'm ready to go.
Well, give us an idea of what happened to you.
Well, I caught a pass late in the game, and I got hit from my left side, and I landed on my right side, and it rolled in. But I'm good. I'm ready to go.
Nothing broke, nothing dislocated. Just
they said that I strained my SC joint, which is where my collarbone meets my sternum. So, but I feel good.
Feeling good, ready to go tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
Can't deny that smile, how excited he is.
Yeah. Coach, do you, having 2 weeks in between games, do you practice any different the first week and the second week? Like if you just had, let's say you played last Friday night, does your practice change any?
It does. The intensity don't, but we took the pads off of them, or the pants off of them on Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday and Wednesday, and just went and just shoulder pads and helmets. We still ran them. We still conditioned. We still worked them out in the weight room like it's normal. We cut practice about 30 minutes. We wanted to make sure we covered what we needed to cover as far as alignment, assignment, what they do, what we feel like they're going to do. We don't have a lot of tape on them, but we've played them so much. They know us just like we know them. It's just different personnel. That's all it is. And so, and then Thursday we had a JV game, and so we dressed around 50 kids on the JV. So you can imagine we had, I think, 21 left for our guys, and we just went helmets, making a light walkthrough, more of a mental practice after the JV left us. And so, it was an off week, probably more so physically because we're just trying to recover with some bumps and bruises and heat and everything else. But mentally, we're being as engaged as we would if it would be a normal game week.
I want to mention the heat one more time, but like tomorrow night, yeah, it's probably going to be 10 to 20 degrees hotter down there being on that turf field. But do the refs put that into play any and give a little bit more break time?
Yeah, they'll understand. They've done a good job. Our refereeing has been very cognitive of understanding when to break, and usually when it's a dead ball, they're going at least once a quarter they'll try to stop the game and, hey, let's give you 5 minutes to water down and stuff like that. They won't do anything to kill a momentum, with turnover, but if it's a dead ball, change of possession, and there's no momentum, they're usually going to stop it. And we'll get through it. We've gotten through it the last 3 years, and I know everybody says, man, it's never been this hot, but it has. I mean, it's been hot. Like today, everybody's worried about the heat index, and it got up there, but then, before you could blink an eye, it was the weather just changed.
Yeah,
it was weird.
We played at 5 o'clock, and I'm sitting there at 4 o'clock, and I'm like, holy cow, it's hot out here. Just sitting there, and then at game time, there was a cloud that come up, nice little breeze, and it was very comfortable out there. So, Keelan, going both ways, running back on offense, and then on defense, you play where?
Outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker. So running back, outside linebacker, two very demanding positions. You're, of course, everywhere you're on the move all the time, but whether you're carrying the ball or going after the ball carrier, you're always top speed. All right, or get there in a hurry. So tell us going both ways, what do you do yourself to make sure you're in the best shape possible come 7:30 tomorrow night?
First thing I do, I make sure I stay hydrated. I can't go to bed without drinking at least 2 to 3 glasses of water. I have to make sure I'm hydrated. I make sure I work out hard in practice. I run hard after practice. I work out hard. I make sure I stay in shape. I don't do anything. I don't like be lazy on the weekends. So I make sure I'm in good shape so I can go both ways.
So tomorrow night when you're running, you're going to be running the ball. All right, what are you looking at the Heard County defense? What are you expecting out of them? What do you expect for them to try? How are they going to try and stop you and stop our offense?
I would think they want to stop the sweep because that's our most deadly play, but I don't think it's going to work. They're not stopping us. If we play Rockmart football, nobody can play with us.
That's right.
And then on the defensive side of the ball, outside linebacker, who are you going to be keying on that you're looking to go head hunting?
Anybody with the ball. See ball, get ball.
You touched on it a minute ago, about getting ready for you're playing both sides of the ball, okay? You got to do a little bit of extra conditioning. You know, like Coach says, he tries to give you a break when he can, but you know, when it's crunch time, he wants his best players in there at crunch time. So how do you keep yourself, I guess what I'm trying to say is, you say you was a little bit nervous or you was worried about the heat and all that, but when that ball's kicked off in the air, all that's out the window. But you still got to prepare yourself to play both sides of the ball. So you got to extra condition yourself. You do a little bit of extra than most of them.
Yeah, in the games, when Coach asks me if I need a break, most of the time I tell him I'm good. Even though I be tired, I tell him I'm good because I know I can push myself and I stay in shape. So
what you're saying is you know your body better than the coach does.
Yeah.
But don't overdo it. I mean, you know, we get momentum will get you going, but you do a great job. Let's take a break right quick, and we're here with Rockmart High School football team, and we'll be right back.
Buy low, true value. 308 Nathan Dean Parkway in Rockmart invites you to come by and watch the inventory grow every day. We're the home of the Garrett Brothers Sawmill. Our family has been processing and selling our country's greatest renewable resources for over 100 years. Like us on Facebook or give us a call at 770-684-5075.
Lewis Motor Company in Rockmart carries a wide variety of quality vehicles with the inventory updated on a regular basis to provide you with the best selection. Let Lewis Motor Company put you in a vehicle with their guaranteed credit approval. Lewis Motor Company, 218 South Piedmont Avenue in Rockmart.
There's home improvement, then there's life improvement. Enjoy family moments with propane gas logs and experience a warm glow with no mess at the push of a button. With propane appliances, you can also enjoy endless hot water with propane water heaters, precision cooking, a hotter, more efficient dryer, and an outdoor living room with fire pits and heaters. Not just home improvement, life improvement. Take comfort in Blossman.
Here's the deal. Free remote control with purchase of gas logs or fireplace from Blossman Gas. See stores for details.
You can't risk being unprotected from unwanted pests. Are you aware that untreated wood is highly susceptible to termite damage? Are you bothered by other pesky insects like bed bugs, ants, roaches, wasps, and hornets? If so, call Harrelson Termite and Pest Control for an inspection. Being the largest pest control company in Polk County, they have the experience to handle your pest control needs. Call today at 770-684-1488 to schedule an appointment.
At Century Bank of Georgia's Rockmart office, you'll find the reassuring blend of responsive, personal service with a wide array of accounts, technologies, loans, and more. And you'll find each delivered by a bank professional whose goal is to exceed your expectations of what a bank can be. We invite you to discover all we are today. Your local choice for community banking. Go Jackets. Century Bank of Georgia. Rockmart. We want to be your bank. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Silver Comet Furniture, your one-stop shop for all your furniture and bedding needs. We carry brands such as Ashley, Catnapper, Liberty, and Jameson Mattress Company. That's Silver Comet Furniture, 678-685-4320, 2000 Cedartown Highway in Fish Creek.
Is your thermostat breaking your wallet each month? The reason could be your home is not adequately insulated. Have the experts at TNT Insulation help put money back in your pocket. Call Tim Montgomery today at 770-684-1887 to schedule an inspection. TNT Insulation can handle all your insulation needs, and they specialize in spray foam insulation.
Get your bronze on. Visit Totally Bronze Tanning Salon at 254 West Elm Street in Rockmart to get that beautiful bronze look. Totally Bronze Tanning Salon has a very clean and cool facility with a safe, well-lit parking area. For a quick tan, they have sunless spray tanning. Call them today at 770-684-3003 for an appointment or go by 254 West Elm Street in Rockmart.
What kind of cake will they serve at your retirement party? Chocolate? Red velvet? Because whether you plan to retire in 15 years or 50, A State Farm agent can help you take charge of your retirement and help make it seem like, well, a piece of cake.
Sherman Ross State Farm Insurance, here to help and serve you. Call them today at 770-684-3500.
It's Rockmart Yellow Jackets Coaches Show here on WZOT. Coming to you live from Knuckleheads in downtown Rockmart.
We're back here with Coach Parson and CJ, I got a question for you, young man. What position do you play out there for the folks that may not know? That's maybe your first time tuning in here on the WZOT radio station for the Coaches Show here at Knuckleheads. So what position do you play, CJ?
I play wide receiver. Last season I played behind two great receivers in Chandler Cooper and Juke Boozer. Of course, me and Juke this year teamed up together outside, and it's been fun. I enjoy it.
So are you a junior this year?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior. So you've been playing Rockmart a whole 4 years?
Yes, sir. I've went to Rockmart schools ever since I was little. So yes.
Great.
And I will say this. I think that our passing game, I mean, with these guys, it's pretty potent to me. I mean, whenever, you look, you got CJ, you got Juke, you got Reed Couch, that whole group right there, any of them is capable at any time of breaking loose. I know CJ here has had a few opportunities to break loose there, but let's see, was it the scrimmage game?
Bremen.
Against Bremen. Just a few more steps there, and you'd have made it in, CJ.
Yeah. I think if that guy would have clipped his fingernails, I'd have got in there. But,
I know he had to grab your shoestring or something because it was a lucky dive at your feet to bring you down. But yeah, I think you'll have more opportunities this season.
Well, there's no doubt because when you think about our weapons that we have, you look at our three running backs as far as Keelan and Mackay and Jai that has the most grass experience, and then we got two freshmen behind them that are going to be good as well, along with Javen and his running ability. And then you look at what CJ and Juke and Reed can bring. I mean, it becomes a matchup issue, and that's what we like defensively. We can dictate what you're going to stop and who you're going to cover. You can't cover them all. We just feel like if at the end of the day, if they said, all right, we're going to man you up, we've got CJ and Juke and Reed that can play with just about anybody we face. And so it's going to be fun this year, week to week, game planning, to see how they're going to match up with us and how they're going to stop. Because the reality is, they're all going to look at Juke and say, all right, let's double team him, which is going to leave CJ and Reed open. And that's what you saw at Bremen. They doubled Juke up top, and here comes CJ with a couple catches. CJ didn't play against Central, and a couple times they're trying to double Juke, and then, Mahaji catches one down the field and stuff like that. Reed catches 3 or 4 balls. So we're blessed. There's no doubt about it, and it's a great opportunity to have athletes on your team because I've learned this. It's not about X's and O's. It's about Jimmys and Joes, and we got some Jimmys and Joes.
Yeah, without a doubt. CJ, I'm going to come to you. I get my weekly installment of Couch Talk at softball games. And so Reed and I had a couple of weeks ago, we got to talking about this. Tell us, what is the difference from last year catching a ball from Dylan to this year catching a ball from Javen? Because they're both right-handed, so the spin is going to be the same, but the way it comes out of their hand is totally different.
Well, Dylan was great, no doubt, but it's been nice having Nook's a lot more mobile than Dylan, and it just allows plays to last longer and creates more opportunity for other people and allows you more time to get open. So, but regardless, both of them are great quarterbacks, and it's been great.
Yeah, and I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way because Dylan's an all-state quarterback, without a doubt.
Yes, sir.
I mean, and was a great quarterback here at Rockmart. it's just a different. There's a difference in the two, and that's what we're talking about. How it comes out of hand. You talk about how Javen can, you think he's sitting there and he's going to roll out and he's going to take off and run. Well, then that defender leaves a receiver, and he's got that ability to where he can just find that open guy, and you got a chance to take it the distance anytime.
Yes, sir. You saw that on that play to Mahaji. He kind of looked like he was going to tuck it and run, and then he threw it off his back foot to Mahaji.
Yeah, and we see Nuke standing here telling you what to say. Is that what he knows?
Yeah. So, and then Keelan, being a running back there, you got to run the ball last year. Javen was used as a running back last year. Now he's at quarterback. It opens up a new dynamic in the running game as well, because now you have a quarterback on the team that may be the fastest person on the field at any point in time, any given night. But what does that do for you as a running back? And, I know it's going to open up holes for wherever you're going.
Yeah, it definitely creates opportunities for us. A lot of their attention will be on Javen, but they just don't understand how me, Makai, and Jai can run the ball and hit holes. So their main focus will be on Javen, but they need to focus on us too, because we can run just like him any given day.
And then whenever he's running that read option, he's got the opportunity to whether he's going to hand it off or he's going to take off. But a lot of that has to do with your offensive line as well. And you've got a very experienced offensive line this year, and you have a huge offensive line this year. Going into the Cedartown game, really didn't know what to expect, but our defensive line really played extremely well, and they controlled the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, when our O-line comes to play, we'll put up 50 on anybody. They're real good at blocking. I like how they block. They're real aggressive. They make good holes for me when I run the ball. And they work hard in the weight room, all of them. They're really committed to the team. That's why I love my boys.
Yeah, it's all part of that team aspect that you were talking about earlier, and the Rockmart Yellow Jacket team, right?
Yeah, team. We got a lot of sayings about our team. One of our sayings is the 3 Ps: pride, passion, and passion.
He's getting that from his daddy, Nick Sykes. Nick Sykes is texting him right now.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
There we go.
Hey, I don't want to change the subject or anything, but you mentioned something on a little bit ago about playing on turf. Do you get with the training folks and maybe do a little extra taping on turf, because they can sometimes get better traction on turf?
No, we don't necessarily look at it as an advantage or disadvantage of what or how we need to be proactive or anything like that. I mean, we don't try to overcomplicate it. It is no different than them playing in the bins on that than what we'll see. It's just be a little hotter. But the way their stadium is, it sits down in a hole. The sun will kind of be over the stadium or behind the stadium around 7:30. So I don't think the sun will be an issue. It still be a little warm, but then we were there last week, and I think at second quarter we looked at each other and said, "Man, it's really nice right now." So I'm hoping it'll kind of be that way.
Well, Coach, let's talk a little bit about tomorrow night's game, and we'll get to wrapping this up here tonight. But in everybody's mind in town, it's the rematch, and whether you want to say it or not, but that's what everybody says. It's the rematch. But for you, I'm sure it's going to be you go play Rockmart High School football, no matter who it is. And coming in tomorrow night's game, we talked a little bit about the injuries. How are we standing as far as some of these guys? And I know you want to win every ball game. We do, but this is not a region game tomorrow night.
Yeah, we're blessed. Our training staff has done a good job, and our kids have done exactly what they've been asked to do to get back to the field. Of course, we talked about not having CJ last week. We'll have CJ 100%. There's no limitations on him, and he'll play receiver and he'll play special teams tomorrow night. And Deacon Allen will play. He's got a knee brace. He'll play. Dedrick Gibson, who kind of slightly dislocated his shoulder, he'll play. He's got a brace. Clayton Floyd's the one that broke his foot against Cedartown. Obviously, he's out. Calvin Roberts, who tore his ACL at the beginning of the first day of padded practice, he's still out. But other than that, we have a couple young guys, first-year players that has a thumb or something. But as far as varsity players, we're full go tomorrow night. There's no holding back because we got to get grass time, and we don't know. Looking forward, and you look through the past 2 years, you don't know how much grass time these guys will get in the region. That's the reality. Not that we're looking at anything that we can show up and win, but we got to get as much grass time as possible and put them through the adversity experience. Let them face some adversity if any comes. So.
You talked about you guys going down last week. A lot of your coaching staff went down last week to watch Heard County. They running about the same thing they did last year?
Yeah, they're going to hang their hat on what they've done. They've got different people. They got a really good running back. They're really big up front. They just got new people, and they're going to put them in place. And I told a lot of people this, when it rained last week, it poured for Heard. I mean, they coughed the ball up, which is uncharacteristic for them. They fumbled 4 or 5 times, gave up a special team score, botched 2 snaps or 2 handoffs, and it was a scoop and score defensively. So, I mean, it got out of hand. And so, by halftime, when it's 41-7, they're just trying to get out and go home, just like Hayville, and they, playing guys. But we've got so much short history with Heard in the last 2-3 years. This is, you're right. Look, we're all human. We're all going to look at this and say, man, we're ready to revenge of what happened in a state championship game. And this is what I've told our staff and I told our kids this. That's 2018. Yeah, in the back of our mind, we're like, we're going to get some revenge. But at the end of the day, it's about 2019 and how good 2019 Rockmart Yellow Jackets can be. We can't go, whether we come out of that game winners or losers, and say, well, we're not going to accomplish this goal because of this. That this is just a non-region game. It's an opponent. It happens to be Heard County. It happens to be a team that beat us in state championship. They deserved it. They outplayed us. They outcoached us. They did everything right that day. And that's what happens in the game of sports. At any given day, any given moment, it don't matter your record or what, you can get beat if you don't show up prepared.
And it's a new group of kids on both sides of the ball.
Good, yeah. And so, we're excited for this opportunity, and I know our community is excited. Everybody's, hey, I can't wait to go down to Heard, because the community wants revenge as well. And so, but at the end of the day, this is not game 15. This is game 3.
That's right.
And we're working to game 15, but we can't get to game 15 unless we take care of game 3.
That's right.
And you really don't want to hit your stride until later on in the year,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And these kids have worked their butts off to win, lose, or draw. This is not going to be a defining moment in our season. This is just another rock that we're getting over to climb the mountain.
Right.
We talk about the journey, and we talk about enjoying the journey this year. Last year was long, and you got so caught up in our winning streak and the possibility and all this coming, and you didn't really get to enjoy these kids and these moments and these memories. And that's one thing I shared with them this week, that I felt like I've let them down, and I've got to do a better job as their leader, is to build more relationships, to get to know these kids on a personal level outside of football, and not just focus on winning, because at the end of the day, wins and losses are irrelevant.
Right.
They don't really mean anything. What means is the relationship and the memories that you can talk about for the rest of your life. And that's what they're creating right now, and I want to be a part of that. And I've said this since day one of the radio show. We got a really, really, really good group of seniors. They're not perfect. They try me every day. I love them to death because they were the first group that come with me. Doesn't mean I love them any more than I do any other senior class. They're just a special group because it was the first freshman class when I was hired. And they've all stuck with us, and they're really, really good kids at the end of the day. they're going to go places, and they're excited to make a difference in 2019.
Well, Coach, I'll tell you, one of the, and you and I have talked about it before, one of the best things that I've seen in this group this year is their discipline. They, through the 2 scrimmage games, through the first 2 games, you have not seen a lot of penalties. And that shows a lot of how these kids are playing right now, at how they have been coached up, is their discipline on the field, because we talked about it at the Cedartown game. It could have been real easy to join in on that.
I'll tell you this, Jeff, and I know you're going with that, but I was in McNabb's the other day getting my tires changed. A little plug for McNabb's, by the way.
That's a
hope he
McNabb
hears
touchdown.
that. Yeah. And so this young man, or this elderly man, comes up to me, and he just says, Coach, I just appreciate everything you've done. He said, but I'm extremely proud of your football players and the discipline they have shown the last 2 weeks. Because it is, you think about it now, it's been a struggle that we don't get 15-yard penalties, and for just dumb stuff. And that's what this group has done. That's when we talk about setting a standard from year 1, now we're in year 4, and these kids have been here every year. They understand the expectations that this is what the coaching staff wants you to do. Walk away with it. Play with your pads and let the scoreboard do all the trash talking for you.
That's right.
And that's what they've done for the 2 weeks. And that's going to be the expectations tomorrow night as well.
Without a doubt. And like I said,
so when I tell them the community, they don't understand this thing.
Right.
They have more of an impact to this community than they'll ever realize. Because people like that who see that and they won't ever know, they're making a difference in this community, because it's making our community proud that we have kids that are doing the right thing.
Yeah, and I go all over the county, and so I hear it all. And one thing that stood out that made me proud to be from Rockmart was that how everybody talked about how the Rockmart team conducted themselves at that Cedartown game. Talking about, I talked to people that was on the sidelines from Cedartown, and they said, Rockmart players said they were very respectful, said you didn't hear anything out of them. And that's a testament to you, and that's a testament to these boys, for stepping up and being the young men that they are.
Being different, because you don't see it on television.
No, that's right.
We're a byproduct of what we see a lot of times, and our kids obviously want to, when they see those college players or NFL players do the shenanigans and all that stuff, well, obviously they're like, well, heck, I can do it if they can do it.
Right.
And our kids have bought into the standard and all that. So I love these kids to death. They're really good.
Yeah, and the entire community is behind y'all all the way. We had a great showing at the Benz last year. It just gives an idea about that. But without a doubt, one of the things, and it's up and down throughout all sports. It's just, it's great to see kids, student athletes, that act the way they do, and that they are, class act in every grade. And it's, being a parent, being a teacher, being a coach, it is really refreshing to see that on the field week in and week out.
All right, well, we're going to wrap this up, but we're going to let the kids, we're going to let them have the last say and then put it back to you, Coach. CJ?
All right, y'all make the trip down to Heard County tomorrow, and go Jackets.
All right, now, Keelan, now you wanted to ask, what does it mean to be for Rockmart football?
Pride, passion, and Parsons.
All right.
I'm going to have to fire DC, so if y'all know one.
All right, Coach, it's back to you to wrap it up tonight.
Well, CJ and Keelan are really good football players at Rockmart, but they're really good humans. And their parents should be proud of them. I'm proud of them. We're excited to get back on the field. We're excited to continue this journey. Our goals are not going to change, is to win the region for the third time in a row and win game 15. We don't care about the record. We want the end result. And so these kids are focused. They want your support. They want you to be loud. We want Rockmart community to show up like they've had in the past, and kind of turn it into our home game down in Franklin, Georgia. So travel tomorrow night and support these Yellow Jackets, support the band members, support the cheerleaders. Let's have a community affair out there, and let's have a good night.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us here at the Knuckleheads tonight with the football team and the cheerleaders. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed stepping in. I appreciate them asking us. But for Jeff Sharp, Mark Lumpkin, Michael Keener, and Coach Parks and all, listen, all y'all got to do, it ain't nothing for y'all to drive an hour to the mall to go shopping. So let's drive an hour and a half to fill up them grandstands and show these athletes. I don't call them students. They're athletes on both sides of the ball and the coaching staff. Let's show them how much support and how much we love Rockmart football. Go Jackets!
You have been listening to the Rockmart Yellow Jackets Coaches Show. Tune in next week to WZOT as we come to you live from Knuckleheads in downtown Rockmart.